It's Kelly, pastor, police chaplain, and marriage coach, and the author of this book, Turn It Up, How to Have the Lifelong Marriage That You Really Want. And I'm here today with another marriage tip for you. So here's today's question. What do you want your marriage to be like? Really? Let's think about it. What would you like it to be like? What do you want? And I always like asking couples that question because it kind of gives them that sense of vision and direction and where they would like to go with their marriage. And, probably people would say, I'd like it to be better. I want to be able to solve problems. I want to communicate better. I want to be on the same page with my husband or with my wife. I want us to get along. I want us to have a strong, loving connection. Well, let me ask you the question. What do you think is the first step towards changing your marriage and making it better? Okay? What is the first step? And that's what I would like to talk about today, because I believe that the first step in making your marriage better is this. It's admit you need help. This really came to me the other day when I was talking with a couple, and we're doing marriage coaching, and I was kind of telling them what I do and how I do it, that kind of stuff like that. And I remember talking to this couple maybe about 6-7 months ago, and I'm like, well, what have you guys been doing over the last 6 or 7 months? Well, nothing really. We've been trying to figure this out on our own. And then I asked them, well, how's that going? Well, not too good. We're still struggling. We're still having a problem. We're still fighting and arguing with each other all the time. Nothing we do seems to be helping. We're not getting better. And it dawned on me, well, the reason they're not getting better is because they're trying to do it on their own. So the first step, like what this couple needs, and maybe what you need in your marriage if you want it to be better, is to admit that you need help. Okay. You see, we don't want to get help, right? Let's face it. We really don't. So we do typically one of three different things. Number one, sometimes we're in denial. We know we don't realize that we do need help. We think that things are going to get better on their own. We hope, we pray, and we just feel like everything's fine, and yet everything's not fine. And so that's called denial. The other thing is self-effort. Well, I know I can figure this out on my own. I know that we can work this out. We just need to, try harder, okay? I oversee, by the way, as many of you guys know, at our church, all of our 12-step groups. And I'm going to give you one of the steps in just a moment. But one of the things I hear from people who struggle with addictions, alcoholism, drug addiction, prescription drugs, sex addiction, is I can handle it on my own. I can manage it. Well, that's also another form of denial, and it's definitely self-effort. But the third way that we go into is that we just go into pretend. In other words, we fake it. And with everybody else around us, we tell them everything's fine. We have a great marriage and we're getting along really well. But you know that it's not great. You know that it could be better. You know that you need help. You just don't want to admit it. You see, there is that place inside of us that thinks that admitting we need help is for people who are weak. And it doesn't fit our self-image. And this is especially true if you're in a job or a career, have a career that helps other people. For example, I'm a pastor, and as a police chaplain, I get to hang around some of the bravest men and women on the planet who are amazing at helping other people and making a difference in our community as police officers. So they're all about helping other people. Well, when you're focused on helping other people, you see yourself as a helper. You don't see yourself as the person needing help. So that's why it's hard. Well, I'm a pastor. I'm supposed to be helping people. I don't need help. I'm helping others, okay? Well, guess what? All of us need help from time to time. And you see, what happens is that when we're left to ourselves, when it's just self-effort, when we're just trying to figure it out on our own, we're what psychologists call, we're in a closed system. In other words, things are just recycling around and around and around inside our heads. Or basically what we're doing is that we're trying the same effort and doing the same things, but expecting different results. And that, my friends, is the definition for insanity. doing the same things over and over again and expecting different results. So if you want something to be different, you have to do something different. And the first step is to ask for help or admit that you need help and then ask for that help. Let me ask you this as well. If you could fix your marriage, or if you could get out of your addiction, or if you could lose weight, or if you could, change something that you want to change in your life, if you could, chances are you would have already, if you really want to. So if you say, well, yeah, I want to, so desire's not the issue. I want to lose weight. I want to get out of my addiction. I want to see my marriage get better, okay? So it's not desire, but what it is that you're trying and doing the same things over and over again. So you need input from the outside, and that's where help can come in. So let me remind you, if you are into recovery, and if you're not, this is a great principle for all of us to realize, okay? And that is this, that in the 12 steps, the first step is simply this. I admit that I'm powerless over my addiction and that my life has become unmanageable. You see, if a drug addict or an alcoholic really wants to change, the first thing they have to do is admit that they can't do it on their own. They have to admit that they need help. And that's what I want to encourage you to think about as well. If you want to see things get better, if you want to see things that are damaging your relationship, your marriage, that are causing you to have lots of problems, that you're always going in two different directions, that you're too busy, that you're arguing and fighting and you're not getting along and things are getting worse, you need to first admit that you need help and then get help. So be honest. Take a look. Are things where you want them to be? Could they be better? If they could be, then recognize that they are not going to get better unless you do something different, unless you get help. Things are not going to get better on their own. So let's talk about some sources for help. So there's both direct and indirect. So indirect sources would be a book. Okay, here's one. Okay, get a book, read it, and then do what it tells you to do. Other things are watching videos, podcasts, listening to podcasts, getting new information and strategies. Oh, that's how this person figured it out. Or that's a great idea. I think I will, apply that to my marriage. I remember there was a time when my marriage was really struggling, and it seemed as if my wife and I were going two different directions and not on the same page, and that we had a problem that we could not solve. And I remember praying and asking God and saying, God, show me what to do. Show me, Lord, how to get out of this. And as I was walking by my bookcase, I saw a book that I'd had for quite a while, but I had never really read it. And it was called The 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by Dr. John Gottman. And I opened the book and I looked at the table of contents, and you know what? There's a chapter in that book entitled How to Solve a Problem You Can't Solve on Your Own. And I went, whoa, or something to that effect. How to Solve Unsolvable Problems, I think is the way it's titled. Anyways, it was exactly the thing that I was asking God to show me what to do. And there was the answer right there in that book. And I read that chapter and I thought to myself, this is what we need to do. And it really, really helped. So there are great sources of indirect help out there. Books, videos, podcasts, okay? Getting new information, getting new education, and then allowing that to transform you. But then there's direct sources of help, which would be what I do, coaching, okay? Or there's therapists, there's pastors, or maybe there's a mentor. If you can find someone who's beaten the giant that you're now facing, who's overcome the challenge that you're facing, then they can help you and show you how to get through that, because you can do what they did to get out of the situation that they found themselves in. But the other way too is that I want to encourage you to invite God into your situation, to pray and ask God to help you or to show you what to do to get the help that you need. And let's also, when we pray, have faith. Faith, I believe, is expectation. Expectation. What do you expect to happen after you pray? So if you pray and say, God, show me how show us what we can do to make our marriage better, okay? Then listen. And the Lord may direct you to a book like he did me, or he may say you need to pick up the phone and schedule a call and talk to a therapist or talk to a marriage coach, or, you may need to just talk to one of your friends. Either way, God will show you what to do. And then what you need to do is have faith and expect that the help will help. Okay, so have an expectation that the help will really help. And then, of course, if God shows you what to do, having that faith that it's going to make a difference and help, you have to do it. So when you reach out for help, be open and then do the things that your helper is telling you to do. Do those things and watch God transform your marriage. So the tip for today is that if you want to see things get better in your marriage, in your relationships, or even just in your life, chances are you need to first admit you need help. And then go get the help that you need. All right. Ask somebody to help you. Reach out to somebody. Or, like I say, get the indirect help from another resource. All right, that's my tip for today. If you loved it, liked it, you want to comment on it, please do so on this page. Also, what you can do is check out my free Facebook group. It's called Turn It Up, a group about relationships and marriage. You can join us. I post all these tips and videos there. You can also listen to this on podcast if you'd rather, or then, of course, share this video, and these podcasts with other people would be great as well. Don't forget to check out my website for all of the other resources that I have there, articles, and of course, how to get my book. It's turnitup.coach. So God bless you. Have a great day and have a great marriage, and may God bless you and may God bless your marriage. I'm Kelly Dupay, pastor, police chaplain, marriage coach, and most of all, a follower of Jesus Christ. Bye-bye.